The Jamaica National Heritage Trust invited representatives from the media, tour companies and the cultural interests on a bus tour of a handful of heritage structures described as castles in St. Catherine and St. Anne.
The larger project for us is called Casting Across Jamaica because there are a number of similar structures around the island that we have dubbed castles. So for example, there is Stuart Castle in Trelawney, there is Stokes Hall in St. Thomas, and there's also Edinburgh Castle in St. Anne. So the whole idea is that we are going to establish a trail, a castling trail across the country.
The Castling Trail Tour is the first of its kind, and Executive Director of the JNHT, Lalita Davis Mattis, explains that the tour party was so composed to gain publicity for the castles. The JNHT is also trying to encourage partnership with the private sector to develop or use these properties.
Basically, one of the thrusts too is to invite people to come here, have a party, have a function, and then what we do is collect what we call license fees. So we give it will be a charge just to use the property.
Among the castles and heritage sites visited were Colbeck Castle in Old Harbour, St. Catherine, Edinburgh Castle, the Seville Heritage Park, and the Liberty Hill Pimento Estate, all in St. Anne. The executive director says, though a few of the structures are in ruins, the trust may opt not to restore them as they are of tremendous value in their present state. Ramona Lawson reporting for JIS News.
There is great financial earnings to be gained from the production of lemongrass, also known as fever grass. So says the Scientific Research Council, the SRC, which is banking on the fact that more than $2 million worth of lemongrass products was imported in 2004. To encourage Jamaicans to consider the plant as a money-making venture, the SRC last night launched a lemongrass campaign under the banner Yes Invest. Executive Director Dr. Audia Barnett says investment in lemongrass could assist the nation in climbing out of its present economic situation.
We have to do something different in this country in order to turn the economy around, and every single person can make a difference. And we are saying that this is a easy win. This is an easy win. We have been bombarded with calls about persons growing lemongrass, but we need people now to take the oil, we need people now to make products. Let us, each one of us, decide on how we are going to contribute to this budding industry.
At the function held at Devon House, the council showcased various value-added products derived from lemongrass. On display were lemongrass items such as flavored water, champagne, personal care products including lotions and body wash, and nutraceutical samples. Interested persons are asked to contact the SRC located at the Hope Gardens compound in St. Andrew. And finally today, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Senator Warren Newby, says the ministry recognizes the importance of regular exercise to good health, which is why it is promoting sports for all. He says the national sports policy being crafted by the ministry will ensure that all Jamaicans, from amateur to professional, have a chance to participate in sports.
There is a positive correlation, ladies and gentlemen, between exercise and stress levels. There's also a positive relationship between healthiness and productivity. We have found that there are several lifestyle illnesses that can be avoided or managed more effectively if more Jamaicans participated in sports.
The Parliamentary Secretary points out that if the country is able to reduce the incidence of non-communicable diseases, there would be considerable cost savings to government and public expenditure. Senator Newby was speaking yesterday at the launch of the Welsh's Heart Health Fund Run at the Altamont Court Hotel in New Kingston. The Heart Health Fund Run has been an ongoing event on the Heart Foundation of Jamaica's calendar since 1987. It is not only to raise funds to support the work of the foundation, but also emphasizes the benefits of exercise to a healthy heart. This year's Heart Health Fund Run is scheduled for Sunday, November 29. Those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us. Jamaica Magazine continues. Thanks for staying with us. We now continue our series of features highlighting the work of the Bureau of Standards, which is tasked with ensuring that consumers have access to only top quality products.
Tire is a common consumer product and one of those items that can be a cause for concern in terms of quality and consumer safety. There are two compulsory Jamaican quality standards for tires, the JS244 with specifications for pneumatic or air tires for passenger vehicles, and the JS269 which gives specifications for pneumatic tires designated for other vehicles.
At the Bureau of Standards, what we do here is inspection for labeling on tires. We will look for the tire designation number, which is what you typically see, 195/60 or 15. We will look for the number of plies and the ply cord material, as well as the maximum load rating, maximum pressure. We will look for country of origin, manufacturer name or brand name of tire.
These are quality specifications enforced by the Bureau of Standards Jamaica, BSJ, to protect consumers by making sure substandard tires do not reach the local market. Imported new tires are assessed and must meet the national and international standards. Despite this, an explosion in the marketing and use of used tires has become a challenge and a major safety issue. While it is realistic to assess and know the quality of a shipment of imported new tires, this is not possible for used tires, as the quality of each varies, requiring that individual tires be assessed.
We have a standard for new tire. Huh? You could take a sample of those tires and you test, and that will give you an indication of what the shipment is likely to be. You can say, I want 5 for testing or 2 for testing, depending on what you plan to do, and that will be representative of the shipment. But you cannot do that for used tire. You would have to test every one of them, which doesn't make sense for the importer, and it doesn't make sense for the regulator. To test against the standard, it's a destructive test, meaning that the tire will be destroyed during the testing process. When you compare that to used tires now, no one tire can represent the shipment. They are of different variation, if you like, in quality. Remember, they're coming off vehicles, different vehicles, different maybe from the back or the front of the vehicle, depending on the driving habits, depending on the mileage that they have gone through. There's no way you can get a representative sample of a used tire for testing. Let's say the shipment is 2,000. The 2,000 tires would have to be tested, and that way all of them will be destroyed.
A noticeable increase in imports of used tires has prompted the Bureau and the Port Authority to step up measures to ensure that the safety of consumers is not compromised.
What we are trying to do is to see if we can work with our stakeholders to get together, a kind of a protocol as to how we're going to manage used tires, going forward. We are trying to alert the consumers about the dangers of buying used tires, which we cannot at any point verify, certify if you like, that it is sound for use. So people should be warned.
They say it's better to be safe than sorry, and since the quality of used tires cannot be guaranteed, it's recommended that consumers purchase new tires and avoid used ones.
It may seem cheaper, but think of the consequences if there were an accident or a blowout, whatever you like.
Used tires are not the only danger lurking. It is also unsafe to drive on tires that have become expired. Tires expire 6 years after the date of manufacture, and this date is stamped on the side of the item. It is represented by a 4-digit number that indicates the week and the year it was manufactured.
Even if the tire has never been used before, what will happen is that if being used after 6 years, the tire material can dry rot, in other words, deteriorate. And what will happen is that the threaded area can be separated